Hello everyone and welcome back to another quality production brought to you by Cornbeef Incorporated. I'm your host, Big Daddy Cornbeef, and today we will be reviewing Mortal Kombat XL, which is Mortal Kombat X, but XL is the expansion pack that comes with 4 new characters, not much else. Not really worth the price if you ask me. The characters are ridiculously overpowered, so, you know, if you're into that sort of thing, it's Alien, Predator, Jason, and a Leatherface. Pretty cool characters, but I don't believe they really belong in the Mortal Kombat universe here. So I'm just going to be doing a tower and, you know, just be talking about the game and give y'all a little taste of what to expect going into this game. It does have a story mode. I didn't really care for the story mode. I never even finished it. I never really cared for story in Mortal Kombat games. I think that's kind of stupid. It's really just an arcade beat 'em up. However, Mortal Kombat Deception did have a pretty cool RPG style storyline, and it was really cool. You know, the one where you play as Shujinko, you fight the Dragon King at the end. Oh, I loved it so much. That game was my whole childhood. So going into Mortal Kombat X here. Shut up, phone. I'm talking to another piece of technology. Gosh. So the gameplay in Mortal Kombat X, it is very, very fluent. You know, it's just a good Mortal Kombat game. You have the move list. If you actually go into the move list, it is ridiculously long. It goes on and on and on and on and on, y'all. It is just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, the combat is very fluent, you know, whenever you get used to it. If you're like me, you're never gonna do anything cool unless by complete accident. So, you know, there's that. Like whenever you get into a combo and you have no idea what you're doing and you're just pressing buttons, you're just like, oh my god, this is so cool, I'm beating their ass. It is absolutely one of the funnest things. Here on this first fight, I kind of get my ass kicked just a little bit. I do end up winning though. Liu Kang is one of the more overpowered characters. They didn't add very many classic characters. I mean, they had the Right Show. I don't think you can really consider him a classic. They added the bots. That Triborg is the robot character, and he is all 3 of the robot characters in the classic combined. You can choose which one you want to be, you know, whenever you select your fighting style. That is another new thing. In this, they do have a fighting style. Each character has 3 different fighting styles, which is basically just abilities that you can use with them. And I tend to lean more towards the middle one, like with all the characters. I don't know what it is. I just picked the middle one. It seems the funnest on all characters. But there's like a defensive style and an offensive style, and one that gives you more like throwable abilities like fireballs, energy balls, and all that. But yeah, hard to say what my favorite character on here is. I really do like Liu Kang. I'm pretty good with him whenever I'm playing 2 players with somebody. I usually end up kicking their ass with Liu Kang. He's just one of those really overpowered ones. He's got that kick combo and that grab right there that does a lot of damage, and it's just it is really, really fun playing as Liu Kang. His fatality, the only one that I have unlocked right now, believe it or not, as horrifying as this looks, it is one of the tamer fatalities in the whole game. It's really not that cool, but it is pretty, you know, it is pretty bloody, pretty gruesome. You can count on a lot of that. So if that kind of thing offends you, then I would advise clicking off this video now, because believe me, it gets much worse. But thank you for the view anyway. Be sure to hit a like even if you are squeamish at blood and gore. So yeah, the music in this game it's just very Mortal Kombat. You know, there's not much you can say about Mortal Kombat's music. It's very, you know, it's very shit, I don't even know how to explain it. You know, it's that pump up music. It's that music that, you know, makes you want to just get right into it, right into the nitty gritty, and just, you know, throw some punches. It's very what even would the genre be on that? I'm not typically good with video game soundtracks. I don't always pay attention to the music. The only game that I've ever actually paid attention to the music on is The Long Dark. You know, games like this, you don't really pay attention to the music. It's just kind of there. But, you know, the soundtrack is very Mortal Kombat, you know, just like any other Mortal Kombat, I guess. Nothing really new there. So I'm going to be trying out a bunch of different characters. As you can see, they do have Ermac. He was one of the classics, and they even added all the classic outfits to the characters. So I'll be using those as well. And oh, I love that so much. You can throw that old lady at your opponent. There's a lot of environmental hazards in the maps as well. That's another new thing, I believe. Of course, I didn't play the one before this. I do know that X-rays are nothing new. They added those on Mortal Kombat Tournament, I think, or just Mortal Kombat. They made a Mortal Kombat, and it was just Mortal Kombat, and it was weird. So they added the X-rays in one of those, I believe. So that's nothing new, but they did significantly improve the X-rays in these. With most of these characters, I miss my X-ray. I'm not very good at that, but you know, the X-rays are pretty yeah, here we go. Here's our max X-ray right now. Damn, that headbutt. Ooh, absolutely brutal. Oh, I love it. Kind of wasted that X-ray right there though, because she was so close to death. I could have just like punched her. That was a little overkill. But Ermac is another favorite. Basically, you can, if I play as a character on this video, you can assure that it's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. Hard to say what my all-time favorite is. My all-time favorite would probably be Ermac or Liu Kang. Just because they're so OP. I mean, look at this shit. Whenever you're Ermac or Liu Kang, depending on who you're going up against, you know, they can barely touch you. Goro is still one of the hardest. I mean, he's not as hard as he was in the old games. I remember in classic Mortal Kombat, like, Goro was the worst. He was so hard to kill, and he would just like, oh my god. Oh, look at that shit. All the guts and shit. Oh. Oh, I love it so much. Y'all have no idea. Best fatalities on any Mortal Kombat game. And, you know, be prepared for much worse. We haven't even gotten into the worst one yet. I can do 5 or 6 fights in this, and I do change characters every time, so, you know, give y'all a little bit of a broad selection. There was a whole new clip that I had to cut out at the end because it exceeded the video limit of 30 minutes, where I got my ass kicked by Goro, and he did the brutality on me. He just like stomped on me, and oh my god, it was so bad. He stomped on me and I exploded. Actually, never saw that brutality before. It was very surprising. I haven't seen a lot of the fatalities and brutalities on here. I'm not very good at the brutalities either. The brutalities, you know, you have to do a special move at the end right before you kill your opponent. And I really like those cutscenes as well, where they talk, you know, they shit talk each other just before they start fighting. Absolutely love it. And one of the classic maps here, the pit, absolutely love it. So, there must be Shabashki texting me. So, yeah. Mortal Kombat X it's one of the good ones, I'm not gonna lie. They've had some very bad Mortal Kombat games in the past, like them damn the Sub-Zero chapters or whatever it's called. Oh my god, go look that up on Angry Video Game Nerd. Oh my god, it's so bad, y'all. The game was so bad, I don't know what they were thinking. Who was Mortal Kombat made by these days? Look at me doing a game review and I don't even know the publisher of the game, or the producer. So, you know, I really want to keep going on, but there's not much to talk about whenever it comes to Mortal Kombat. It's really just Mortal Kombat, you know. As I said, the gameplay is very fluent. It's just an overall good game. It's one of the funnest games to play with a friend. If you ever have a friend over, well, it can either make them your best friend or your worst enemy, depending on who gets their ass kicked. I've had a lot of friends rage playing with me. I might not be I might not be too good at the game, but you know, hey, I can kick my friends' asses, and that's fine by me. So, as I said, this game makes enemies faster than Uno does, so I would be wary of that. I remember had a friend come over, and we were doing Test Your Might. Boom! Oh, I love that so much. So, yeah, we were doing Test Your Might, and we ended up just like we ended up working together. Test Your Might is on here. It has story mode, Test Your Might, towers, or just free play. So Test Your Might is like you have to tap buttons really fast to chop the blocks or whatever. You know the drill. It was in the classic games, and it's a tower. You got 10 Test Your Might challenges. And we eventually just like gave up. He didn't even play. We did Test Your Might with one player, and we sat there both tapping the buttons on the same remote. It gets so hard, like it's not humanly possible. I think there was one time that I beat Test Your Might just by myself without any help, without anybody pressing the other two buttons, and it's just crazy. It is a lot of fun though. I really like that they added Test Your Might on here. And I'm really not sure if they intend on continuing the Mortal Kombat series. I think this may be the last one. You know, Mortal Kombat is kind of dying out by now. Alright, the audio is starting to get a little corrupted here, but as long as it's still present, that's just fine by me, because this is more focused on my voice anyway. I do apologize for my audio issues. I am really trying to work on that. It's just game DVR. It's a pain in the ass to record with. So yeah, I'm really just trying to ramble on because I want you guys to see my favorite fatality here at the end of the game. So I guess I'm just going to keep on talking about as much Mortal Kombat as humanly possible. Did y'all ever see the movie? Or the movies? I saw one of the movies and I didn't really care about it. I never thought the Mortal Kombat made a good movie. Because, you know, it's an arcade beat 'em up game. It's really not good for a movie adaptation. All these people get like super into Mortal Kombat and make comic books and movies and TV shows, and you know, there's story behind it and lore. Why can't it just be a bunch of people beating each other's heads in? You know, why do people always have to technicalize it like that? You know, I can understand stuff like that with like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, but Mortal Kombat and what started as an arcade game, really? You know, I always thought that was kind of stupid. I never cared for the lore of Mortal Kombat. But yeah, I didn't particularly care for the movie that I watched. I swear to God, I say particularly so much. I guess I just really like the word, you know? Oh, Lord. Again, one of the tamer fatalities, believe it or not. Actually don't like that one too much, but it's the only Raiden fatality I have unlocked. I really wish I had more fatalities to show y'all, but to unlock the fatalities you have to play this game religiously and get enough coins and go into the crypt and, you know, unlock them with your coins. And I really don't play this game that much. I've played about halfway through the story mode, and then, you know, I play with friends whenever they come over. That's about it. Really not too dedicated to this, but I thought that it would be a pretty interesting game to do a review on. It is rather old though. Rest assured, I will be doing some newer games this week. I got my hands on 2 new games, so look for, well, unless one of them has the release date pushed back, but it should be coming out tomorrow. You can probably guess what it is if you've been keeping up with it, but not very many people know what it is. But anyway, that's a story for, you know, for tomorrow. But rest assured, I will be doing 2 new games this week, 2 brand new games, and, you know, be excited about that. Ooh, Smoke. Smoke was one of my favorites in the classic. I played as Smoke so much whenever I was little. Whenever I was younger, Smoke was my favorite. And yeah, what Mortal Kombat have I played? I know I've played MK2. I used to play MK2 whenever I was little on the N64, and then I know I played Deception. Deception was probably my favorite Mortal Kombat of all time. You know, it had all the classic characters, and Bo Raicho. I actually played Bo Raicho a little later on here in this video. Absolutely love Bo Raicho as well. So, thing that I didn't really get too into. You should see me use one on. Oh my God, Smoke is so OP. Yeah, I remember whenever I was recording this, I was playing as Smoke, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! Smoke is really OP." Like, he's got that mechanical grab where the wires come out of his chest. Oh, I love it so much in those combos. Smoke is one of the few characters that I'm actually just really good with on this game, and I'm really not even that good with them. I'm just a little better at them than the other characters. I'm very average with Smoke, but yeah, absolutely love him. And what was I talking about? Wow, I think I need another sip of my coffee while I figure out what I was saying before that. No, I still don't know. Coffee did not jog my memory. Okay. There we go. The environmental hazards. You can stuff like that. No, we gotta pay attention and show this fatality the respect it deserves. Oh my God. Oh, that is the worst. Oh my God. That is so bad. Oh, I love it so much. Just that damn... Or he's getting crushed by the thing. He's sitting there trying to push it back up with his arms getting just bent over backwards. Oh my God. I love it so much. Oh, that makes me really happy. I mean, some may call me psychotic and demented, but you know, I don't care. That fatality makes me really happy. I'm very glad that was a thing that they put in this game. one of the worst ones, just that getting bent over backwards. Oh. So, yes, the environmental hazards, as I was saying. Yeah, you can, like, I'm trying to think of where I grabbed that old lady and threw it at my opponent, and then there's one where you're about to see coming up here. Yeah, you can grab shit and throw it, or you can grab hazards and like branches or pipes or whatever and smack your opponent with that. And pretty sure on one you can have oh, what's his name? How could I have forgotten his name? The boss at the end of MK1 and 2. You know, the really hard one that no one can beat. How could I have forgotten his name? The one with the skull helmet. Anyway, his hammer is in one of them, and you can grab his hammer and just like smash your opponent with it, and I love it. Oh, how could I have forgotten his name, dude? This is really gonna bother me. This really bothers me. So anyway, love Sub-Zero as well, one of my favorites. Not really overpowered, he's pretty average, but honestly he plays about the same as Scorpion, which I guess is the whole point. You know, you got Scorpion and Sub-Zero, they play pretty much identically, except one is ice and one is fire. And of course Scorpion has his classic, you know, get over here chain. I love it, one of my favorite moves. And Sub-Zero and Scorpion also have their classic fatalities as well. You're about to witness one of Sub-Zero's classics. So I didn't do Scorpion's classic because honestly I always screw it up, and I really didn't want to end up screwing up a fatality. So I just did the easy one. Yep, here it comes. One of my favorite fatalities in Mortal Kombat, right here. Oh, I love it so much. Classic. But Yeah, what was I talking about? Scorpion's classic Flame Skull Fatality is in the game as well. I may have already said that. I'm not sure. I feel like I've already said that. Maybe that was on another take. I have recorded a couple of takes on this. So, you know, it's just really cool that they were trying to take it in a new direction and add all these new characters, but they also, you know, threw back to the classics and added some of the classic fatalities and some of the you know, classic characters and everything. They added Reptile under a backpack, and you know, they put the classic outfits on there, and I really like that. It really gives both fan bases something to both sides of the fan base, I should say, something to you know, something to connect to the game through, or whatever. Well, whatever I'm trying to say. You can you know what I'm trying to say. The audio is still a little laggy, but you know, you put up with it for this long. Just try not to focus on that. Boraicho! Oh my god, Boraicho. One of my favorites, however, I do slightly get my ass kicked here. I don't know why I always miss those x-rays. It is just, I mean, usually it's not that hard to hit with an x-ray whenever you're playing with one of your friends or whatever, but those AIs, man, you know, they're programmed to think ahead. They know exactly what you're doing, and they, you know, dodge it before you even do it. It's crazy. So, it's like playing chess with an AI. You ever try to play chess with an AI? It just doesn't work. So yeah, well, what was the first game Boraicho appeared on? I think that he was Shujinko's trainer in Deception, wasn't he? I think that's the first game he appeared on, but I'm really not sure. Don't quote me on that. Like I said, I haven't played that many Mortal Kombat games. I did play one where you play as Sub-Zero, and you're like in a training school or whatever. From what I can figure, you fight like Baraka and Scorpion, and I really don't know. You know, what we're talking about, vague childhood memories here, so forgive me on that. I really can't remember which one it was. Oh man, so many childhood games I want to go back and play as well, since they added backwards compatibility for the original Xbox. Y'all can really count on that. I'll be playing a lot of original Xbox games, you know, as I can afford them. But anyway, that's a story for another day. I'm rambling, as always. Y'all just tune in to hear me ramble every day. So, you know, as I was saying, Boraicho, I love Boraicho because he's just like the drunkard. It's such a funny concept. He sits there and gets drunk off his ass, and he still beats everybody's ass. And what is in that bottle? Like, I swear to God, if anybody else ever drinks from Boraicho's bottle, they like explode or puke up their guts or die like that. That must be some really strong shit. You know, that's some of that rot gut. Take another sip of my coffee here. I'm getting into it. I'm feeling it, you know. Oh, coffee. Oh, coffee, how I love thee. So, yeah, Boraicho's x-ray here is, oh, the neck, not the neck. Give him a little neck massage action, you know. So, yep, this is what I was talking about. Here comes the fatality. This is what I was talking about with that damn bottle. Oh, that's so brutal, man. Oh, that's the worst. Boom. I love how he just pops. Oh. Alright. So, you know, we're coming into the last fight here. Y'all are about to see my favorite fatality. With Johnny Cage versus Sonya Blade. I only thought it appropriate that it be those two fighting, and you know, thought that it would be appropriate to end on my favorite fatality as well. So, finishing up here, this game is absolutely perfect. It's got the classics and the new Mortal Kombat stuff all mixed in together with one package. If you're into story mode, they've got story mode. If you're more into arcade, they do towers, they do weekly towers, I think. You can choose your faction, do the faction wars. The faction wars basically who gets the most points. You can do online, player versus player. It's really a cool game and a must play if you're a fan of the series, and a must have if you have friends that come over, you know, on a regular basis to play games with you. You know, you need to really get this game. It's a very cool party game. You know, there's not a single person alive who doesn't like Mortal Kombat. I'm sorry, you know. It's just it's a very necessary game to have. And yeah, I'm kicking Sonya Blade's ass here. I'm not gonna lie. Johnny Cage is another cool one. I never liked Johnny Cage as a character. He never was a particular favorite of mine, but you know, he is very powerful. You see that? I threw that damn washed up body at her. So cool. I really wish the audio would sync up here. It would make the fatality so much better, but you know, I guess that we'll just have to deal with that anyway. X-ray. Oh shit. Oh man. Got that skullcracker action going on. Pretty sure he just broke her jaw twice. Oh man. So yeah, in conclusion, I would personally give this game a solid 8 out of 10. Just because, you know, just because it's not the classic, basically. But it does do a very good job in, you know, taking it back to the classic direction. You know, adding the classic characters and fatalities and, you know, all that in. So without further ado, you know, this has been Big Daddy Cornbeef bringing you another game review brought to you by Cornbeef Incorporated. I'm really just going out on a limb here with this outro, but yeah, y'all just y'all take it easy, all right? Peace.